Hey guys, Veebat here with another V-Plays, and we're taking out the French Premium Tier 7 Heavy, the VB10. The VB10, for me, always kind of reminded me of a Mustang, much in the way that the aircraft looks. At least from afar, it has that bubble cockpit, it has a very standard looking shape to the airframe, and it even has an oil cooler underneath the airframe. Maybe that's a water cooler. Either way, it has that same type of weird vent on the bottom. Now, it also carries kind of similar armament in the sense that it carries 6 50 cal machine guns, but to add insult to injury, it also has 4 20s. The forward firing armament is going to have a very impressive damage output if you can get them to hit. The other nice thing is that since we are running 650s, we do have the ability to light aircraft on fire like we did right there. Easy kill. Let's go ahead and start making our way towards the middle. Another deficiency that this aircraft actually has, is that another one for defending this site? I thought we killed them all. So, a little bit of a deficiency here in this airframe. The deficiency is going to come in the form of pretty poor altitude performance and really bad climb rate. Its top speed isn't bad, but it's not spectacular either. But it makes up for this with the fact that it has really good maneuverability. On top of that, it has some of the best firepower at the tier, which allows you to be able to pretty much blitz through and kill any aircraft in a one-on-one engagement. However, if they get on you before you can get on them, obviously you're going to run into some problems. We want to do the lion's share of the damage with the cannons, since they are going to be able to reach out a bit further, and then we let those 50 cals close in to finish off the target. Much like you're seeing right there. Managed to get the zone, we'll use that airspeed in order to get out of here, and we'll start moving on to another site. I'm going to come over here to this garrison, see what we can do to try and flip this site. Let's find the closest target, another heavy fighter, sure thing. Let's go ahead and dogfight with a heavy because that's what this aircraft is really good for. There's that burst speed, that burst damage we were talking about. Let's get the 20s on target, and then we'll let the 50s do some sympathetic damage on top of that and absolutely wreck that aircraft. Again, getting those 20s on first is what's going to allow you to really be able to trade away a lot of the health. Now, why are we covering this aircraft? Because it's actually become available for sale again. So figured we'd go ahead and throw it out there and let people know that it's here. Bye. We'll see you later, Mustang. If you want to chase me, you're going to have to chase me out of the zone. Looks like he got taken out, and we heard a noise coming from the airframe, which indicated to me that he was actually taking some very heavy damage. I see that there's a 39Q here. Not going to let him get around on me. Very dangerous aircraft for us. We can dogfight with these heavies. Bye, Key 102. What else do we have here? I'm worried about that 109Z, so we will pay attention to him. But in the meantime, let's see if we can get a nice head-on pass here and knocked out that aircraft. What else do we have? Get a little bit of altitude, maybe get some separation, find a better target to go after. It looks like this 40 is actually chasing our Focke-Wulf 190. Got it, and air supremacy has been achieved. We actually ended up hitting our boost cooler there, which was inadvertent, but you know what? We got it. Oh, hey. How's it going? Hi, friend. Oh, this is the 102. Easy day. Baby. Oh, that's my wing, and he got the big old 45 onto us, so that's what I get for talking too soon. Get a chance to say hi. And thanks. Let's see if we can get back into the fight and continue to push the advantage. Looks like the 109Z actually dipped out, but in all fairness, so did our ME410. So not too bad, and the enemy can easily still get that other command center. So let's come over here and see what we can do to continue to keep and secure the one that we currently have. This one is low health. He should be dead by the time I get there. Good. We do have a PE2 M82 right here. Let's get around on him. Try and keep that speed up. Guns on target. Again, want to get those 20s on before we want the 50s. Oh, shoot. Sorry about that, man. That was totally my fault. Totally my fault. Let's see what we can do to make up for it by going after this bomber, because while he might be able to get up here, I'm willing to bet he's going to take way too much damage trying to take out a heavy, or a bomber rather, but we've got the damage output with our heavy. Alright, knocked out that target. Battle's pretty much over at this point. We have a false reading for a multi-roll in this zone, so let's head towards the center. We're going to burn a little bit more, and then I'm going to go ahead and hit the dab my 3 key here, get that coolant started yet again, and burn in towards the target. Well, I guess we'll have to go after this guy. I do have the 2 different buttons established on this so we can use the 50 cals independently from the 20s, and that's what we did there to allow those to cool down while we then got the 20s back up and running at full potential. Solid performance on this one. I'm very happy with this battle. Go ahead and throw a GG up there for the other team. Let's go to the hangar and take a look at the airframe and see how we performed. Alright, so as we can see here, pretty decent payout, although again this was a pretty short match and we've been running into these lately. The aircraft performs admirably. We did specialize the platform, so we do have a little bit more of an advantage than most people out there. So let's go ahead and take a little bit more of a look at this aircraft here. Yeah, we managed to take out 12 of the enemy aircraft, and you'll note here that we did light quite a few aircraft on fire. And this is due to the fact that we do have the 650 cal machine guns, and if you're not aware, machine guns, guns in general, as they increase in caliber, they lose their potential for fire and increase their potential for crit damage, but it's an inverse ratio. So if you've got a really low caliber gun, it has a much higher chance for fire. So while having a nice mix of the biggest machine guns and smaller cannons, they're not the smallest, but they're pretty much the smallest, you're going to get good crit chance and good fire chance from both of these, which allowed us to be able to take out 12 different components, because fires apparently count as crit hits. Now, we did get 420 capture points, which is what contributed to a majority of us being able to get good personal points here. We were top tier, and the enemy did lose one of their heavy fighters at tier 7, so that did put them in a difficult position. Ooh, here's my problem. I did not realize the Key 102 was actually a human player. If I had been aware of that, I probably would have continued to burn away until I was in a more advantageous position, but, you know, didn't really matter too much in the long run. Like I said, this does get 650 cal machine guns, and while that is very reminiscent of what we see with the American Mustang at tier 7, you'll note here that while there is a higher rate of fire on the P51, the 50 cal machine guns that are on the VB10 actually have a higher damage per second, which means that each bullet is actually doing a little bit more damage. Now, take into account that the VB10 is also going to be able to pump out quite a bit of damage from those 20s, because each one of the 20s is going to be reducing 90 damage a second. Now we are running gas operated action as one of our pieces of equipment because I just wanted to get as many rounds on target as possible, because why not maximize the strength of the platform. We are now looking at 782 cumulative damage per second. Just to kind of give you a basis of comparison, you can see that the TU1 here only has 500, although we'll still call that a lot of derp damage potential that's on this airframe. And even the Key 93, again a derp gun, is going to be looking at 368. Let's see, do we have a tier 8 that we might be able to take a look at? Yes, we do. XF5U is only pumping out 720, while the Blamun Voss is 550. You guys are kind of getting the picture here, right? That's a lot of damage output for what is just a tier 7. Now, you know, again, not fair. Chain Lightning is a little bit beefy, but still, you get my point here that the VB10 gets a ton of damage potential from its guns, which allows it to really be able to be a devastating force, and the eclectic mix of guns does work to its advantage. Now, when you get this to specialist configuration, you do get 2 spots underneath the engine, and I tried to augment the already existing strength of the maneuverability. I went with the boost mixture, or the boost injection system, because that allows us to be able to maximize the boost capability, like maximizes the bang for the buck of the boost, but you do reduce the overall boost availability, but it has really good availability in the fact that it's a heavy fighter. You could probably put in the operated engine on here and still get a pretty good return on investment as well, because it'll allow it to be able to hang at higher altitudes. And then of course I'm always going with some form of a gun sight, in this case the collimator sight, and the increased chance of fire isn't hurting us in any particular department. It really doesn't matter what you roll, because again, combination of 20s and machine guns. We also get 2 consumable slots underneath the engine here, which allows me to be able to put on the engine cooler. Like I said, the aircraft does lack for acceleration and climb rate. You can see here 255 feet per second in the climb. Just see here that when you compare that to any of the other heavies out here, 288, and granted these aircraft aren't really known for their climb capabilities either, 335, but the VB10 is right at the bottom, and its altitude for max optimal is going to be 5,900. Multi-rolls have better altitude performance at tier 7 than this thing, so bear in mind that there are some major limitations, but the strength of the maneuverability and the gun capability is really going to make it feel very comfortable to you. And if you fly this thing more like a multi-roll and a boom and zoom function, you're probably going to have a lot better luck. Anyways guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, I'll catch you on the next one.